Hey, 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 what do you say? What's happening, fellow Marauders? It's your boy Kellz, back again with another episode of the Culture Marauder Podcast, the show where we maraud on all culture and deliver the goods to you, the masses, aka the listeners. Appreciate y'all dropping in with us tonight, February 17th, 2021. I can't believe we are halfway through this month. Yes, it's Black History Month, which happens to be the shortest month of the year, but you know what? That's neither here nor there. We'll take it, damn it. So, hey, we're rocking, we're marauding. I already got my guests laughing on the side, so we're gonna keep pushing from here. So we got a good show for you tonight. We got a very, very value-added show. It's almost like that on a special edition of Full House type thing where you really, really want to tune in. This is one of those episodes. So, before we get down to business, there's a number of ways where you can hit us up if you want to be a part of the show. If you're watching, hit up the comments section. As usual, we will, post your comments across if you want to interact with myself or my guests, or, hey, if you want to leave a tip, there's also ways to do that as well. I will not turn down any money in any shape or form as long as it's real and current tender. So, hey, if you want to throw something in the tip jar, that's appreciated as well, but not required. So, hey, before we get down to business, like I was saying, let's get on our Marauder Minute for today, right? So, like I said, it is February. All jokes aside, it is Black History Month. And we've been celebrating, Culture Marauders has been throwing out little historical nuggets, all month here and there, just celebrating Black history and, Black contributions to America, to our country, right? So today is a special one. I think a lot of my sports fans are really going to dig out there, and a lot of business owners, business-minded folks are really going to dig as well. So, since we're celebrating Black history, we are celebrating the GOAT. Not Tom Brady. Tom Brady's up there, but he is not the GOAT, right? His airness, Black Cat, Black Jesus. That's right. I'm talking about Michael Jeffrey Jordan, a.k.a. Air Jordan, who today is a whopping 58 years old, man. Time goes by so quick. I remember when that dude was crying at his Hall of Fame induction and all this. I think he was only like 50 at the time, but time has gone by really, really quick. So, if you watch The Last Dance or pretty much watch any NBA highlights or anything like that, it always ties back to Mike, right? It all roads lead back to Mike. When you're talking about the standard of greatness, the torchbearer of the NBA, the standard of greatness, never mind Bill Russell winning 11 rings, it's Mike's 6 rings, and not going to a game 7 in the finals, winning all of them and being MVP in all of them. So, but not only was, he a phenomenal player on the court, but he was also, very, very savvy with his business and his money. So Jordan, is not only the first ever former player to become primary owner of an NBA franchise, which was, the Charlotte Bobcats, which the first Black owner was Robert Johnson, a former owner and founder of BET, Black Entertainment Television. But he was also the first Black owner in the NBA. But Michael Jordan is currently its only principal majority owner, with one of the most diverse staffs in all sports. So, shout out to Mike for, taking the reins of the hapless Charlotte Bobcats and transforming them into the mediocre Charlotte Hornets. But, what I like to say is that, Mike has a way of turning things around. I think he's got some smarter brains up in the front office, and he's willing to listen as long as he's not challenging these kids and then trying to embarrass them out on court in practice. But Mike has made a bunch of money in his lifetime. So, some of the endorsements that Mike was a part of was Nike, the $250,000 endorsement deal he signed with Nike in 1985. He also had endorsements with Gatorade, Hanes, Ultra Hair Products, which for whatever reason, I don't know, but he was also, as Leo can say on there, Upper Deck Company, who does the trading cards he had his hands in, Coca-Cola, believe it or not. And Michael Jordan was seeking, after the end of his initial deal, he was seeking an extended 7-year deal worth, I want to say 6 figures, and Coca-Cola didn't want to give it to him. So I don't know who came out on the end of that. So McDonald's, if you remember, hey, Jordan and Bird, off the backboard, this and this, all that. So between the legs, nothing but net. So all the late and great, commercials that we remember growing up. He also was endorsed by Wheaties and Rayovac batteries. So I don't buy Rayovacs unless they're like, buy one, get one free. But hey, Michael Jordan pushes them. So, and then let's not forget, his endeavors with racing, auto racing, NASCAR. He's teamed up with Denny Hamlin for the 2311 racing team, that also pulls Bubba Wallace one of the few black NASCAR racers, professional NASCAR drivers out there right now, and they're making some noise out there. So all that being said, right, Michael Jordan's estimated worth is $2.2 billion, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Marauders, $2.2 billion. And I still think that's short. So, but this man has left his imprint not only on the game of basketball, but also in the business world with savvy moves, an eye on the future. Especially with the Jordan brand and having his own line under the Nike label, which a lot of other athletes have done now with not only Reebok but Adidas and stuff like that. But Jordan was the first to do that with his own Jordan brand with the Jumpman logo, generating buku bucks. So, shout out to Michael Jordan, not only as a savvy businessman, but also as a pioneer in the game of business for Black Americans to follow. So, like I said, that was our Marauder Minute, and talking about money and making money moves. It just happens to be what we're talking about today, right? So investing, and investing, taking care of your chicken, as Marshawn Lynch said, being smart with it. And today, on the Culture Marauders podcast, I got my guest, the Wolf of Columbia, South Carolina, Mr. Leotis Fields. Welcome, Leo. What's happening?
Man, you call it, man. I'm doing good, man. I'm blessed and highly favored.
That's it. Where you coming out of, man?
Columbia, South Carolina. I was born in Galveston, Texas, but grew up in Columbia before joining the Air Force and coming back home. So.
All right. So you still in? You got a little bit more time left, right?
Got 1 year left, man, and I'm done. Clocking out.
What's the first thing you're doing when you retire?
Oh man, the first thing I'm doing when I retire, I don't know.
You don't know? Like. So my dad is retiring from his second job, right? Civil service. He said the first thing he's doing is going fishing, right? So he's already finished the military career. He's doing the civilian gig. He's wrapping that up. He's going fishing. You have nothing. You haven't waited for this day for 20-some years. You have no idea what you got planned.
Now, I kind of do what I want now, man. So it's like,
it's cool, man. I know, and all joking aside, it's just gonna be nice to call your own shots, without, you have the pride wearing the uniform, but it's gonna be nice having that feeling where, you get up, you go to your job or whatever, the next step is after. It's all your call. So you said it yourself with me. Every time I see you now, it's all smiles, but. Fellow Marauders, me and Leo go back away. We served together. We was at a station in Las Vegas together at Nellis. So, I've known him for a while. So it's good. And, congratulations and good luck going forward.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
All right. So before, we get to it, right? We like to do the icebreaker. We like to break in our guests before you get the stamp of approval and we can officially call you a Marauder and you get the keys to come on back to the house, whenever you need. So, all right. So I'm going to go movies. I'm going to go business movies, right?
Okay.
All right. So one's got to go. All right. So I'm going to say one's got to go where you'll never see it again. You can never turn around and watch this movie again. And it's done.
Okay.
I'm going to say Wall Street.
Okay.
The Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay.
Boiler Room.
Okay.
Or Wall Street 2, Money Never Sleeps. One's got to go.
I'm going to say Boiler Room.
Boiler Room gone? Why? You didn't really dig it? It had Nia Long, Ben Affleck. What's there not to like? Giovanna Ribisi? Come on, man.
Okay, so to be 100 with you. The reason why I'm saying Boiler Room, because I haven't seen it yet.
Why don't you go back and watch it, right? And it'll probably be the dopest movie you've seen.
Okay. So I had to get rid of the one I haven't seen yet. So
I'm not gonna lie to you. I've never seen it either. I just remember there was a poster that had all the cast members on it, and I just like, all right, Ben Affleck, Jennifer. All right, so I've never seen it either. I don't plan on watching it unless there's some trivia or something later on down the line that I need it for. But I like Wall Street's a classic. Wolf of Wall Street is honestly one of my favorite movies all time, hands down, regardless of genre. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. And Wall Street 2 was okay. I wasn't really into Shia LaBeouf wasn't believable in my opinion. you know, I like him as an actor, but just in that movie, I don't think he was the right person for that flick.
Yeah.
But all right, I can respect that. So, hey, maybe you might want to check out Boiler Room, maybe not. You know, either way.
Check it out now. I will.
So,
yeah,
all right.
I'm running out of things to watch anyway. So
that's true. There is some trash on TV. So, but hey, look, all right. Since I hadn't seen it, I can't judge you for it. So therefore, you have been dubbed as official Marauder. Welcome to the gang. You got the keys to come back anytime. So,
all right.
All right. So check it out, y'all. So, all right, we're about to go ahead and get into it. You know, if you have any questions, like I said, feel free to comment and, you know, ask Leo some questions. You know, he's been doing this for a while, right? So that's why we have him on the show. I try not, you know, I blow smoke every now and again, but this is the real deal right here. So we're going to get down to business. So, you know, Leo, you know, you've been in, like I said, you've been in the game for a while, man. So, you know, getting into it, that's what we're going to call this round of questions, getting in the game. Okay. So how old were you when you first started investing?
So my mom introduced me to stocks when I was 14.
Okay.
And it's something she always was interested in. She used to always say, you know, it has to be something with these stocks where they have their own news networks where people are reporting on them 24/7, 365 days a year. People are going crazy about them. But, you know, unfortunately, we as a Black race, we're kind of slow getting into it. So she pushed me out there. I used to go to the library, public library, for all you youngins, reading the Wall Street Journal, looking through Standard & Poor's used to have a catalog that they put out. So going through the Standard & Poor's catalogs, looking up different stocks, and just reading, a whole bunch of reading. And after that, she saved up, it cost $2,000 back in the day to start a Ameritrade account.
Oh, man.
Yeah, $2,000 just to open the account.
Okay.
So got the $2,000. She opened the account, and every month we was just putting in, you know, $50, $100, and just going from there. Just reading different things, watching the news, paying attention to different things, and it just, I loved it. You know, it was something, and I ran with it, and it's been a blessing.
Okay. All right. So you know, you mentioned that as a you know, the African American community out there, that, you know, we don't get exposed to that, you know, but, you know, while you were talking about you reading Standard & Poor's Wall Street Journal back in the day, you know, I was looking at the latest JCPenney's catalog, picking out Christmas toys, or the East Bay magazine, you know, oh man, I want these shoes and stuff like that. And this is a conversation I've had with, you know, with the homie Kyle Expo, y'all, the fellow marauder who joins every now and again, that we don't teach, you know, our kids financial literacy, you know, at an early age. You think that's important, and how do you think we change that narrative in the Black community?
I think like how you doing now, you know, talking about it is up to every parent to try to instill those values in your children. Like I'm talking to my daughter now about stocks, just talking to them and basically helping them understand that this is something that will benefit you in the long run. It comes with risk. I mean, there's nothing in life. I mean, you start a business, there's risk. Right. So there's nothing in life that you won't experience some type of risk. You have people who go to college and graduate and can't get jobs. Spend all that money. That's a risk to me.
Right.
So,
but that's a risk. That's a risk that people push. Like, you know, they don't, you know, oh, go to college, get a degree, you can get this job, but that's not guaranteed, right? Exactly. But just like, you know, there's a lot of people out there with graduate degrees that can't find work. If the jobs aren't there, how do you expect to work? But, you know, with that financial literacy, you can, it's a tool, right? To help you make some money with a little bit of money that you may have, you know, but like you said, everything comes with a risk. You just got to weigh the percentages. So, you know, I think, you know, if you have the cash and you can put down on a solid stock, you know, not necessarily a blue chip, but something that, you know, you can grow, you know, I think that's just as good. You know, you can always go back with the education that you have.
Yeah, I feel like everyone can invest in stocks. It may be harder for some, but everyone can invest in stocks. I mean, right now with all the different apps, I mean, Okay, so when Ameritrade started, it was $2,000 to start, open an account. Now it's free.
Yeah. I bet you wish you had known that when your mom had known that when you was little.
Yeah, it went from $2,000 to $500. Then, of course, with competition, the competition was free, so they had to make it free. Right. So now it's free. So you can, I mean, think about it. Everyone has a vice that they could do without. You know, if think about it, if you like drinking a 12-pack of beer every weekend, well, just skip one weekend, take that $20 and buy you a share or buy you a stock.
100%.
And just do that over your lifetime. I mean, that's investing. That's not trading now. That's investing. So there's a difference. So if you invest that, it will pay off in the long run.
Okay.
You know, and then when you invest in these companies, what a lot of people miss, you own the company. You have ownership in the company. They send out
you get
sometimes.
You get the meeting invites and stuff like that.
Yeah, you get the vote. You get the vote on who sits in those seats, those president seats and the board of directors. You get the vote in all that. And then another thing, when you invest in stocks, depending on the stock, you can make money 3 ways. And I love this about it. All right. You make money when the stock increase in value. If that stock pays a dividend, you make money when they pay out dividends. And once you get a better understanding of stocks, you can move into another tool called options. And you can sell what they are called covered calls on your stock. So that's a whole nother ball game, but you can make money 3 ways. And it's simple. It's really simple. So I am an advocate for individuals, families, getting into the stock game. I mean, the Black community spends the most. You know, they talk about it. They highlight it on all the news networks that we are a culture of steam. So why not spend some of that money to make you money? Think about it.
No, that's true.
You just put a little bit of them trillions that we're spending in the malls, and we put it in the stock game. It'll change a lot of things for a lot of people.
Oh, you know,
it really would.
And you know, back to the Marauder Minute. We're talking about Michael Jordan, right? How many people wait in line for them drops? How many people wait online for those drops? Those $220 shoes. You know, you could take half of that, or even a quarter of that, and throw it on the stock, and you in business. You're already in the game. But it's just, we don't think that way traditionally, right? Like we haven't been raised in as a culture, right, to think that way. And I think it's just going to take people like you to get out in the forefront and really push that financial literacy. And maybe, look, you're gonna retire. Maybe that's a lane for you, right? So be that voice for the Black community about financial literacy, and kick the truth to the young Black youth, in the words of the Old School Teen Summit. So I mean, and help us get our money right, man. So definitely. So you talked about the 3 different ways. So through your journey investing and learning the stock game and getting your money up, what were some of the lessons you learned along the way?
Okay, the biggest lesson I would say is don't follow the hype.
All right.
Don't follow the hype. Like, it's very current, very recent. GameStop.
Hold on, we're gonna get to that.
We're gonna get to that. Okay, we're gonna get to that. Okay. All right. So, well, for me, it's always been don't follow the hype. If it sounds too good to be true, then it is.
Okay.
So for those who want to get started, there's gonna be a lot of people out there try to sell you something. They're gonna be like, subscribe and I'll tell you the #1 stock and it's gonna make you $1 million. This, and that. That's too good to be true.
Is that like the Motley Fool? They always put out that type of stuff.
I'm not gonna say anything about them. They were great when I started years ago. They were great. Like they really did a lot to educate you, and they gave a lot of stuff away free then. So I haven't paid for nothing from them in like probably 15 years. Hey. So I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what they're pushing out, but I know in a lot of the advertisement that I see, you know, there's like 100 of them out there. You know, my email gets bombarded with them. And all I would say is exhaust the free things. If you set up an account with Ameritrade, TD Ameritrade, they give you all kind of education. It's free. Like I said, it doesn't cost you anything to open an account. You can go in there, set it up, and just take the lessons, go through the courses. You don't have to put a dime into it. YouTube is a great place, but just be mindful. But that's with anything, just be mindful. But the internet, I mean, the internet has all the free content you need. Like you don't really have to pay for anything. You know, I had to go sit in the library like for hours to get what you can just stock investing, and bam, there you go. But in the beginning, it was just we got caught up on penny stocks.
Right.
That killed us in the beginning. We got destroyed with penny stocks. You know, we think about it, we're putting in $50, $100, so we're trying to get as many shares as we can. You can take $50 and buy a penny stock and get like 2,000 shares. You know, you're like, yes. And with the dream of, oh, well, this go up 50 cents, you know, we made $1,000, you know, if we go up $1, you know, we thinking like that.
You're right.
Not understanding, not taking the time to get into the fundamentals. So that was a big hurdle to get over that, to buy more expensive shares with your small investment. Even though we was doing it monthly, it didn't click until after we lost a couple $100. Like, you know what, this isn't working. You know, it isn't working right now. The second thing, definitely for those younger guys, I blew a lot of money. I was making profit, and I was taking the profit out and blowing it, going out, partying, buying things. And today I wish I'd never done it.
You was watching too many rock videos,
compound interest, man. Man, let me tell you, I was up in DC, man.
What time frame was this?
Oh, go ahead.
What time?
The penny stocks were when I was, you know, probably from 14 until I went into the Air Force. So 14, from the age 14 to 19.
Okay.
Then I got stationed at Fort Meade, Maryland, and I was trading stocks daily. I was almost like a day trader / swing trader, and I was making like $800 a week in profit. But Friday come around,
gone.
I take that money out and go to DC and ball out. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Be honest.
Look, I mean, your money was working for you, right? So
yeah, but you know, then you know, life catch up to you. You don't make those profits, and it's like, dang, I blew that money, and the club owners are the ones reaping that benefit.
Yes,
where I should have saved that money, reinvested it, and now I have a family. My family will be benefiting from it.
True, build that wealth, right?
Yeah. So that was my biggest thing. Other than that, investing, I feel like investing is relatively easy. You just have to stay committed to it. Okay. You have to continue to put. If you can only afford $10 a month, then put your $10 a month to it. Don't divert it. Just keep doing it. And then the mindset, you have to have a mindset. A lot of people cannot handle seeing the loss, seeing the red in their stock account or in their portfolio. So
what's
you
up,
have to.
Red? I'm sorry, man.
Oh, you good?
He said,
"What's up?
So
what's up?"
I'm sorry. We've been joking back and forth. We've been watching Judas and the Black Messiah, so that's how we've been hitting each other. So dope.
I saw that last night, man.
Yeah, dope. Flick. For those of y'all haven't seen it, check it out. So I'm sorry, man. So you said the mindset.
Yeah, the mindset. The mindset is probably the most important thing when it comes to investing and trading stocks. You have to understand that the stock market is like a roller coaster ride. You're going to have those ups where, everybody, it's all fun, it's great. And then when you get down to that bottom, but you have to really understand that it's going to come back. Some companies do go belly up, but that's very rare. It's very rare, especially if you investing in some solid companies. So the mindset, I feel like everyone needs to learn the basic, really learn the basics. There's a lot of people out here now, they're making money, but they don't know the basics. And I mean, everything right now, I feel like it's wholesale. I mean, when the pandemic hit, you saw all the companies take a big hits. So it's easy now. It's easy to make money now. You can really just go out there, close your eyes and pick a stock. And as long as you put some money into it, you're going to make profits. Right. So it's real easy now. But when the markets correct itself and things start to get better overall, you have to really know the basics and really have your fundamentals in place. And that's where it comes into, if you're going to invest, I suggest if you don't have the time to dedicate to learning about your stocks, I suggest, and I'm not a financial expert, so this is just a suggestion.
Well, we got you on the show for. We
thought no. I gotta I don't want people coming to sue me saying, "Hey, you told me to do this." So
no, I'm not.
I know. I'm not a license.
There you go. All right, that sounds better. That sounds official. All right.
Yeah, but I suggest if you don't have the time to research a stock and learn about a stock and learn about the company and how the stock moves, I suggest you get into mutual funds. Mutual funds, you're pretty much safe. Most times they follow the market. So, I mean, and it's been proven that you put your money into a mutual fund that follows the S&P 500, that account will grow by at least 10 to 12%. So without you doing any research. If you like to trade stocks, like what I do, I like to trade stocks. I do both. I invest. I got my long-term stuff, and then I trade stocks. If you're going to trade stocks, you need to know about the stock. You need to learn about it. You need to learn how that stock moves, learn what affects that stock. There's some stocks that are seasonal. And I say seasonal, probably the wrong term, but like there are certain stocks that when the holidays hit, those stocks boom. Right. And then after the holidays, they go back and they just coast until the next holidays. And if you know that, if you follow that stock, during that time, you buy that stock or you hold on to that stock, you're going to make money. Yeah. And you get out of it. It's like, okay, this is where it normally starts to slow down. You can look at the charts and get out of it and do your thing. So learning the basics, getting your fundamentals for trading. If you're not going to trade and you don't have the time, I suggest doing some mutual funds or buying into stocks that of companies that you know about. Like everyone shops at Walmart or Target. They're not going away. So you can be safe putting your money in those. If you like buying GM, General Motor Vehicles, buy some GM stock. We have all type of things around us that you buy and use. So why not pay yourself back? If you like Listerine toothpaste, Listerine mouthwash, your family uses a ton of it. Well, try to invest in it. Yeah. It really don't take a lot of you don't have to be the smartest guy the most intelligent person to invest in stocks is all around you. You know, we have thousands of things that we buy in our homes that we can invest in. And I tell everyone who wants to get into it, just look around you, find something that you buy, invest in it, and then learn about it. So if you go to Walmart and you buy Walmart stock, then start following the Walmart company and looking at how that stock moves. And you'll learn all about it. You'll learn who the owner, the presidents are, the CFOs are, what they're into, what they got coming out, you know, and they tell their shareholders the information before the public knows, you know. Like I knew months before the masses that Walmart was going to have that Walmart Plus, and they're going to try to compete with Amazon.
Right.
Because you got the stock. They're going to tell you these things. So,
well, I mean, look, that's sound advice from our wolf of Columbia, Leotis Fields. He's been joining us, just kicking knowledge to us about, you know, how he got into the game, things to look for, you know, and you know, so hey, sound advice if you've been tuning in, fellow Marauders. So, you know, you touched on this a little bit, you know, how to stack effectively, right? How to you know, the different ways there are to invest. You touched on stocks and mutual funds. One of my biggest regrets was back in I want to say 2002. You know, I was reading the Stars and Stripes, you know, the Stars and Stripes military paper. I was in Germany. I was at Ramstein. And, you know, I would look at the stocks in the back. I'm like, you know, I looked at stuff that I was familiar with, right? So I'm sitting there looking at Marvel. This is before Disney, well before Disney bought Marvel. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, man, you know, the Spider-Man movie came out. Hulk had just came out. I'm looking at it. I'm like, I remember $5.36 a share. I was like, man, I said, you know, I'm making good money over here in Germany as a staff sergeant, you know, and the cola and all that stuff. I was like, I kept putting it off. Lo and behold, years down the line, or Disney buys Marvel, and you know, $100 a share. Imagine if I had to put that money that I was going out to the bars on the weekends, you know, going out buying doner kebabs and all that good stuff, all the money I spent. What would I be sitting on today, you know, in 2021 from 2002 if I had to just stack that money and had that sound advice and that financial, you know, know-how. Yep. So that's my biggest regret, man. I'll never forget it. $5.36 a share. So,
yeah,
you know, hey.
Yeah. Hey, I had a buddy, he was a vehicle operator. He was trying to get me to buy that Bitcoin, man.
That Bitcoin, right? Yeah, the crypto.
Bitcoin. Man, I don't know anything about this. Yeah, the cryptocurrency. And it was like at $10 at the time when he was telling me. I was like, man, I don't know anything about this. And then I look now and it's shit's like almost 50,000 for one coin.
I'm telling you, man. And that was 2014. I thought about that. And, you know, I was in Jordan, you know, again, looking back through the stocks.
Oh, man, you could have put all kind of money on it.
Man, I'm telling you. Yeah. I mean, it's one of the things, man, where it's just, you know, I'll get to it, you know, but I ended up buying, you know, I invested, I want to say Panasonic, because they were building the lithium batteries for the electronic cars for Tesla. So, you know, I was looking at that and stuff like that, but it never dawned on me, you know, I didn't know how it was going to roll, but, you know, man, hindsight, bro, like you said, like $50,000 a coin, a Bitcoin. Cats are using this cryptocurrency to go into these exotic car dealerships and paying cryptocurrency to walk out with these high-end cars, these exotic cars. So it is real. It's just you had to get your hands on it, you know, from the jump.
I would add that that's another thing we need to start looking at. Like I've actually started buying some crypto.
Okay, but the lesser ones, right? And there are other ones that aren't as expensive as Bitcoin.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's about I use Coinbase. There's probably about 20 to 25 different ones you can buy into. Yeah, I can't afford no Bitcoin, man. I look at it and a tear comes down every time. But
I know, right? You're talking about the golden goose. Like, you know, if people had to just, you know, and you said it with our opening conversation, you know, you got to take a chance, right? You got to take a chance. And it's just one of those ones that's like, I don't know. It's just, that was the one we should have took a chance on.
Yeah.
So Kyle asks, is stash a good way to get into stocks? Is stash like hey, Kyle, if you want to, you know, go into stash a little bit more, make us a little bit more familiar with it. I'm not familiar with it, unless you are, Leo. Do you know?
I've heard of it. I've gotten the invites. I would say without knowing anything about it, just make sure the company is good. Make sure it's something that's not going to rip you off. So really look into it. But if it helps you get into it, I say go for it. I say go for it if it helps you get into it. I found out just recently that you can buy stocks with Cash App. I had no idea. When the person who told me, I thought they were joking with me. But you really can. You can buy stocks with Cash App. So I feel like if it gets you in there, do it. I think Stash takes like your leftover change or something and purchase the stocks.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm all about it. Just get there. Definitely in our community. Okay, he said you can. So yeah. So we have to. I feel like, to go back to your question of how can we build up our wealth and stuff, I feel like we have to give up a little bit of our instant gratification.
Mm-hmm.
We have to give up that instant gratification or sacrifice just a little bit, so we can build this wealth in the long run.
Right. Okay. And speaking of building that wealth, so like I said, we talked about mutual funds, stocks. Let's talk about, investing in land, and IRAs. Those are other ways, right? So in land, it's one of those things, God ain't making too much more of it, right? So yep. if you can get your hands on somebody, I imagine, that's a smart move to make.
It is.
All right.
Yeah. Land, you can't go wrong with land. And also the IRA. That, I'm glad you brought that up. I had in my notes to talk about that, and I overlooked it. But yeah, that is probably the first thing I would tell anyone who wants to get into investing, to get them an IRA, and that's an individual Roth account, an individual retirement account.
Right.
So they have the traditional and they have the Roth. The Roth is the preferred one. And it's preferred because it grows tax-free. So when you get ready to pull that money out, you will pay no taxes on it.
Okay.
None.
So let me ask you.
So
if you go with the
right now, who knows what the laws they're going to pass in the future? But currently, it's the best way to go. I use my Roth a lot. I trade with my Roth a lot. And the reason I do that is because your gains, you don't pay any taxes on it. Now, I can't take the money out. But you pay no gains. You pay no taxes on it. Okay. So whereas I have my other account, if I make $4,000 in profit and I pull that out, that's added income. I get taxed. But if I have a Roth IRA and it's for my retirement, and I hit it good, I'm like some of them cats that did the GameStop stuff, and I make $2 million. Well, that $2 million in my Roth account gets taxed. Doesn't get taxed at all. Okay. And that's a win-win right there, man. You can't beat that.
Yeah, I could always use $2 million. Don't get me wrong. I could always use that or a little bit, a little less. I'm not going to be greedy, but okay, all right. So, do you own any land? Without telling all your business where it's located, but are you a landowner?
I am.
Okay.
I am.
All right.
Now I didn't purchase it. It was passed down to me.
Okay.
But I do have plans very soon. I would say within the next year and a half. My wife and we are looking to get some rental property.
Nice.
So yeah.
Yeah. I bought some land again back in Germany. You get those folks who come up and like, oh man, hey, we got these land plots we want to sell. I was like, you know what? All right, sure, why not? Trying to be responsible, trying to be an adult. So bought some, and it was paid off, of course, years later. And I got about a little bit over an acre just sitting down here in Central Florida. Just setting some orange groves, man, just been sitting there. So, am I going to build on it? Probably not. I probably wind up selling it and moving on. But some that I thought about early. Even before I actually started buying stocks, I had a mutual fund back in the day where you were talking about, that's a smart way of getting into the game without having to actually pick and choose, specific stocks. Mutual fund I had, land, and now I have stocks, and so my money is going to a couple of different places.
That's good. Yeah.
And and the way I got into it was, like you said, know what you put your money into. So I was told, if you're gonna invest in a stock, invest in something that you know about. So I follow Apple products and the drops for those. Apple invested in Disney years ago. Invested in Disney. It didn't get me twice, so I invested in Disney. Right now, I'm hitting the marijuana stocks, the weed stocks, the True Leaves, Canopy, and stuff like that, because just like weed grows, so will those. So
yes, they have been very good to me in my stock portfolio. Yeah,
right. So that DraftKings I jumped on, American Airlines during the pandemic. So we got our hands in a couple different things, man. And like you said, Party City, just like you were referring to the seasonal growth, right? Party City is year round because you got Valentine's Day. Then you got Mardi Gras, St. Patrick's Day, Easter. You get into summer, 4th of July. Then you rolling into the holidays. I mean, so it's constant growth for these cities. So, it's just, if you know about it and you pay attention, like you said, you can kind of gauge when those trends are rolling around, when it's good to get out, when it's good to stay on. But just by knowing, education is the key from what I found out, and where to and read up on them. The projections, the trend. And you got a good shot at making some money. So So all right, so let's get up in this last category, right? And this is where you had some stuff to go off on this one, right? So don't believe the hype. And when we say don't believe the hype, what are we talking about specifically, Leo?
I'm talking about these stocks that have been headlining in the news, like GameStop, AMC, and the other ones. When those stocks came out and they were on the rise, you had people. I mean, I was in some groups and I was like, I told my wife, I'm about to get out of these groups because these people are about to lose their money. Yeah, they were like, when if you start talking about buying GameStop when it was at $200, I was like, oh my god, they're about I'm sick. But you had so many people buying it up, and they thought they were, and I saw a comment was like, the people saying not to do this are hating on you and this and that. And I'm like, no, I don't want you to lose all your money. People were buying it at $200, $250.
But it peaked at $400, right? It peaked
at $400.
Now get in and get right out. Get out and make money. But not everybody was thinking that way. They was trying to ride it out.
That was like the people who were jumping in, and not knowing about the stock and not understanding how stocks move. They were like that fan that's sitting in the Staples Center, and it was like, hey, come out and play one-on-one against LeBron James. It's like, yeah, you may be able to, dribble the ball, but you ain't gonna score any points. If he really gonna play you, if LeBron play you like Michael Jordan will play you, because Michael Jordan ain't losing to nobody. Jordan's not gonna lose to nobody. Hey, that 12-year-old who challenged Jordan is gonna learn a hard lesson that day.
Yeah, you ain't trying to be like Mike like that. That's
so it was crazy to see that, man, and it was like, these people, they got in, like you said. Now the ones who were smarter, who jumped in and got out, I guarantee you, most of them were probably traders. Most of them were people like us who know about it. It's like, okay, we watching it. We watched the stock. All right, I'm gonna get in here, but I know I'm getting out real quick.
Right.
Then you had those other people who were like, oh my God, this is a great opportunity. Like, I just won the lottery, and that thing got to 400 and it started to smooth out. And it was like, I'm gonna keep on holding on to it because it's gonna go up to 500, and then boom,
it's over.
It's over. It's
you got a bunch of stock that nobody gives a shit about. Like you can't do nothing with. It's just, all right, cool. Yeah. Hey, the new Call of Duty's coming out. Yay! It'll bump up a little bit. It's not like Activision. If you invest in Activision, where you're gonna make the money, it's GameStop, right? So I mean, it's there's definitely a difference there.
And then the folks, and when it all goes back to fundamentals. In order to buy a stock, there has to be someone selling the stock.
Mm-hmm.
In order to sell the stock, it has to be someone buying it.
Right.
All the smart people are smart enough to like, I'm not buying that shit at no $400.
Yeah.
I'm not buying it at $200.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not buying it at $100.
Unless it's like an Amazon or something like that. That's the only way.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it has to make fundamental, has to be fundamentally sound. It has to be backed by something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Amazon, you know, I wish I could get Amazon at $200.
Oh, yeah, you and me both.
Shoot. But GameStop, like you said, it's not to diss the company, but it hasn't been a profitable company for a long time.
And that goes back to the point where it was these Reddit traders, right? They
Mm-hmm.
saw like that AMC and like you said, the other ones that you know were out there, they were failing, right? And they're like, well, you know what? Let's flip the script. Let's gas these stocks up. And you know, and then they started selling higher and everybody jumped on board. And then when the bubble bust, you know, the damage was done, right? The money was made, the damage was done, they pulled out. And then the Wall Street traders like, yo, what the hell just happened? So with that being said, do you see this becoming a trend later on down the line or even currently, or do you think the SEC will put the kibosh on this sooner rather than later?
Oh man, I think it will be a trend. With the SEC, I'm not sure because they will have to go after a lot of high powered what they call hedge fund guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then these guys who put their money in hedge funds, our politicians, other business people. You know, those hedge fund guys, they're not taking small money like our money. You know, I mean, I'm not speaking for you, but I feel like my money is small.
My money
compared to what you know. They want to. If you look at what's those American Greed and stuff, those people are writing $2 million checks, $500,000 checks, and giving it to these hedge funds guys. You know, Bernie Madoff, he wasn't getting someone's, you know, $150. He was getting checks like $2 million, $15 million checks from people. So, they would have to regulate. They would have to regulate a lot. They would have to regulate the hedge fund guys because they're the ones doing the short selling. They have to regulate a lot of people to get back down to the they call us retail investors.
Okay.
Now they may hold these groups, you know, because we see in a lot of censorship. They may ban these little groups like the Reddit group. You know, they may force these companies to keep an eye on that type of stuff. I do see something happening, some kind of enforcement when it comes to that. You know, anytime the people speak up, you saw it in the movie we was just talking about, Judah and the Black Messiah. You know, anytime, you know, the small guys come together, you know, the big dogs. You gotta
get the head off the snake, right? So
yeah, they come in and extinguish us. So, you know, I do feel like something's going to come. I don't know how much the SEC is going to do without getting the big guys too. They have to do something to those guys.
Exactly. So, and that's going to roll into a whole new set of problems because if those folks can see there's a way to make money with it, they're going to squeeze out the little man where they can get money off it. But yeah, so, and that's how it is. You know, that's how it is. So, you know, hats off to those who cashed in. I don't see nothing wrong with it. They've been robbing us and screwing people over for years. So give money.
Yeah. And see, and that's the thing. That's the issue. It's like, okay, how many times have they done this to the small guys? Mm-hmm. They probably think about it. A lot of us didn't even know about it until this happened.
Right.
You know, and our one victory, or quote unquote victory. Now things have to change because hey, now I'm no one's fool. Nobody's fool. Those Reddit guys who started that stuff, the guys who initiated, I guarantee you they got that GameStop cheap as hell.
Oh yeah.
You know, so they made out like fat cats.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I get it. They had a purpose that they were about, but at the end of the day, they made a lot of money.
Yes.
You know,
Yep.
I guarantee you, none of those guys is like still holding that stock, waiting for it to go back to where they bought it at.
No.
Guarantee you.
Because they were the ones that were able to manipulate. So they just picked a random stock like GameStop, cool. So I get a method to the madness, man. And like I said, it happens so quick.
So quick.
And before anybody could catch on, it was over. So it's one of those things like catching lightning in a bottle. So like I said, I ain't mad at them. Get your money and keep it moving. And with that being said, I know you said you gave some advice on investing. What about what advice can you give somebody looking for the next go around with this? If we happen to see this pop up again, what's some advice you can give somebody?
My advice would be stay far away from it if you are not an experienced trader.
All right.
Like I have no what's the word, empathy for the I have none for the
no care that you lost your money. All right.
Yeah. Well, for the experienced guy, because he should know better.
Right.
It's all the guys that get caught up in the hype that I worry about. Like, because I want everyone to invest. I want everyone to invest, and I want everyone to learn how to trade stocks. But what happens when that new guy go out there and he take $5,000 and he go buy GameStop at $400 and he lose all his money? He's gonna tell everyone, man, them stocks, they're gonna take all your money. You're gonna lose all your money. He's gonna go out there and he's gonna be a bad sounding board for people like us who want everybody to get into it, because there is a right and wrong way to do everything, and that would be the worst way to do it. Now you're gonna have those guys who, they go to Vegas and they roll the dice and they get lucky.
Right.
You're gonna have those guys, but it's gonna be more people who lose than those who win when they follow those hype stocks or those trendy those trends and stuff. And I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen. So for all the experienced guys who know better and still go do it, you're on your own. But I mean, for real, like, you want to take your money and do it, you're on your own. But for the newbie, the novice trader or investor, just stay away from it. Just keep on doing the fundamentals. Follow the fundamentals until you learn more, until you get better. And just stay consistent and don't fall for those things, because that stuff is designed to it's designed to prey off the weak. To prey off the weak. I guarantee you, no one in Wall Street were buying those shares at $400. No one.
Yeah, good point.
No one.
Very, very good point. All right. So, hey, y'all already got the knowledge dropped on you by the Wolf of Columbia, South Carolina, Mr. Leo Fields, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Marauders. Hey, thank you, man, for coming through. But
Appreciate you,
with the knowledge and hey, just kicking some game to the fellow Marauders out there, those who may not know what was going on, shedding some light on that, man, teaching them how to invest wisely, things to look for. Don't believe the hype, and do the work, right? Do the work. Yeah. So there's tons of get rich quick schemes out there, but hey, if you do the work and invest wisely, you got a chance to make it. So appreciate it. Before we let you get up out of here, right? So we got the segment that we just started called "I Got to Get Some Shit Off My Chest." All right. So with you being the guest, go ahead, Leo. What you got to get off?
Man, my wife might be mad at me about this, but it is what it is.
All right.
I'm just so sick and tired of people believing that one party, and in particular the Democratic Party, is such a great party. Mm-hmm. Like, there's no racist people in the Democratic Party. Like, there's no bad people in the Democratic Party. And there is, but there's so many people. There's so many people that feel like, there isn't. And I tell everyone, like, I'm black first before I'm anything else. Mm. I'm no Republican. I'm no Democrat. I'm black first, and I'm gonna call it like it is. I don't care who's in office. Like, I'm gonna call it like it is. But you have some people who they, you know, they show bias to their side, and I'm like, why are you being faithful to these people, so blindly being faithful to these people,
right?
When they're practically on the same team.
Yeah.
You know, they're practically on the same team.
Yeah.
You know, and I really wish people would just take time and think about some of the things that are going on, you know, before they just, you know.
I think it's just a byproduct of the feel good feeling of, you know, our the predecessor being gone, you know, former President Trump. I think it's just that feeling, right? That feel good feeling, and people are willing to believe in anything right now besides what we just experienced for the past 4 years. And you know, I think as you know, current President Biden rolls along, it's going to be the same thing. You're not going to be able to please everybody. Everybody's going to find something wrong with something, right? So, you know, it's just the honeymoon period. That's all. We're in the honeymoon period right now. But if Biden and President Biden and Vice President Harris and you know, Congress don't get it together, we're going to be looking at the same thing, man, and probably worse, because you asked for, you know, especially the black vote. You asked for the black vote. You know, you got it. What are you going to do with it now? So
that's thank you, because I was trying to get to that point, but you know, I was trying to walk that little narrow line, but
you say we're on this show, man. So
yeah, man, you know, and
yeah.
So, and yeah, I get it, and I'm with it, but I'm like, come on, people, like, we put too much faith in these people,
right?
And I feel like people need to really focus on building themselves and building them communities and bringing themselves up versus waiting for someone else outside to do it.
Yeah, because we can't rely on outsiders to take care of our needs. You know, and granted, we're in a situation in a society where that's easier said than done. But I think that's the only way us as people, black people, we got to find a way to do it ourselves. We can't rely on the government, and you know, and that's a good thing. We don't need big government. You know, we don't. You know, but it's gonna take something. But will that be realized? Will we have the chance to realize that? You know, because like you said, once somebody starts pulling us together, you know what happens from. So it's a give or take. But I definitely feel you on that, and you know, people need to, you know, okay, enjoy this feeling right now. Enjoy the honeymoon stage. It's only a month in, you know, a little bit. Enjoy it, but keep your eyes open, fellow Marauders. Keep your eyes open. Don't let it down. Don't let, you know, what we've been blinded by.
I'm sorry, man. It's the last thing you said.
No, I'm sorry. I said, you know, shit, I forgot. But I was just saying, don't be blinded by, you know, what's going on right now. And then we put up those blinders again, and we're right back to where we were prior to Trump coming into office. You know, so just be smart, you know, and keep reading.
Yeah, that's it.
So yeah, but for me, the shit I got to get off my chest is this whole wasted impeachment trial, right? Why was this going to happen? You knew you weren't going to get the backing to see this through. You knew it. They told you it wasn't going to happen. So why waste the money, the time, the effort, and do it anyway?
Yeah.
Hey, did you get that stimulus check? The new one that they've been talking about? Yeah, me neither. So, you know, instead of bullshitting and wasting time with that, that's what they should have been focusing on. You know,
do you have any facts on how much that costs? Because I'm like, I wonder how many checks they could have wrote while they were up there with this crap.
Exactly. So I'm tired of Pelosi, and she's talking that bullshit, talking about setting up a 9/11 style committee, you know, to look into the Capitol. Right? It's over. All right, it's over.
She really has a vendetta against that man. Like, let it go.
You couldn't get him once or twice. He's the 2-time impeachment dodging champ of the world. Let that man ride out. He ain't fucking with nobody, you know, and he let him form his Patriot Party or whatever, because you know what? I'm not a Trump supporter, but we do need a third option. We need a third option, you know, and that's just Kell's opinion. We need another option besides Republican and Democrat. We need something else. So let that man live, you know. All right, hey, he got out of it twice. You can't shake him a third time. So, you know, it is what it is. Stop wasting money on bullshit.
Stop wasting money.
Let's get these resources to these people that need it. Yeah. So, you know, that's it.
I'm with you on that, man, 100%.
Yeah. So, All right, Leo, man. So that's it. That's our segment of I got to get some shit off my chest, So before we let Leo go, brother, man, where can we find you out in the world?
Man, I have no social media other than my Facebook. Other than my Facebook. Other than my Facebook, man, and I put a lot of nonsense out there too sometimes. So
no, but you put some good stuff, some value stuff out there. So
yeah,
plug your Facebook, man. Where they find you on Facebook?
So you can find me at Leotis Fields on Facebook. Just Leotis Fields, Fields on Facebook. That's where I'm at.
All right. So all right, final thoughts, man. Shout outs, final thoughts.
And I appreciate you having me on, man. Thank you. And I hope your listeners got something out of it. If you got any questions or need some help with something relating to investing or stocks, just hit me up on my Facebook, or you can reach out to Kellz. You know how to get in touch with me. So that's it.
All right, so cool. So hey, likewise, man. Thank you for coming on, man. And I know you were one to drop this knowledge, but I'm glad you chose this platform to do so. You're always welcome back, man. All joking and bullshit aside, you're always fam and welcome back. So, so hopefully, fellow Marauders, y'all get something out of this. I know I did, man. Just sound financial advice, right? Sound financial advice. My final thoughts is, look, between the impeachment and this crazy stocks and the stuff we're seeing, in the Midwest with the storms and all this crazy shit, take care of each other. If there's a way, somebody's struggling, take care of each other. And it doesn't cost anything just to ask how somebody's doing. Somebody could be going through it and you don't know. Just ask. Yeah. So we need to take care of each other. I know things kind of seem on the up and up somewhat throughout the year so far, but we still got some work to do. So my shout outs, of course, go to the healthcare professionals out there, the essential workers. Hey, these different variants are out there. We still fighting this thing. It still doesn't look like schools are going to open back up fully unless you're opting to send your kids back. Shout out to the teachers who are still grinding, putting in the work. To the military, still deploying, still putting in the work. Who haven't let up, and just folks out there just doing their daily, man, just trying to make it. So the Marauders got you. We just want to drop a little something every now and again just to get you through your day, take your mind off of what's happening in life, make you laugh, make you think. So thank you for the supporters out there and, the listeners and all of those who follow. And, hey, as always, if you got something you want to maraud on, there's a number of ways to find us. So you can check us out on Instagram. That's where I usually do my daily dirt at @the_culture_marauders. I'm somewhat active on Facebook as well at the Culture Marauders, on Facebook. And if there's anything you want us to maraud on that you can't catch me on Instagram or on Facebook, hit us up at theculturemarauders@gmail.com. So, look, we had some passings within, the past, last time we all met up. So, we had Larry Flynt, founder of Hustler Magazine and, big proponent for the First Amendment, freedom of speech. If you remember the People versus Larry Flynt, with Woody Harrelson and Courtney Love, just basically, hey, freedom of speech with, his periodical, the Hustler Magazine. I only read it for the articles myself, but it's been out there. So
you actually read it?
It's either that or Swank. That was all that's available. But shout out to him. Shout out to Dustin Diamond, man. Screech from Saved by the Bell passed away. From cancer, stage 4 cancer, man. Tragic. I thought he was the corniest dude on the show, but he brought value. So it's still tragic. I believe he was 40 some years old, still relatively young. And then also Rush Limbaugh, political commentator, right wing dude. Regardless if you agreed with him or not, he was a voice, right? He was a voice to give you another option on what's happening in the world. So shout out to Rush, who also passed from stage 4 cancer. So rest in peace, y'all. And with that, hey, if there's anything that we missed, hey, we'll try to do better next time. Give us some input. If you like what you're hearing, please drop us a review. And hey, with that being said, we out. One culture, one blood, one love.
Peace.